Disrespect never appears suddenly. It shows up when someone senses hesitation, inconsistency, or emotional dependency. Most people respond to disrespect in two wrong ways: silence that comes from fear, or aggression that comes from ego. Both destroy control. This video will show you how disrespect actually works, why it escalates when mishandled, and how calm responses shut it down permanently without arguments, anger, or explanations. Disrespect is not an insult. It is a test of boundaries. People push when they believe the cost will be low. Tone, timing, and delivery matter more than words. A joke, an interruption, or dismissal is often not about humor. It's about hierarchy. Understanding this stops you from reacting emotionally. Once you see disrespect structurally, you stop taking it personally and start handling it strategically. Most people either freeze or explode. Freezing signals submission, exploding signals instability. Both invite repetition. Disrespect thrives on reaction. The more emotional energy you give it, the more it grows. Control is lost the moment you let your emotions decide the response. Calmness is not weakness here, it is containment. And containment is what forces the other person to recalibrate. Ignoring disrespect works only when it is intentional and rare. Most people don't ignore, they avoid. Avoidance signals fear. Allowing disrespect trains others that there are no consequences. Calm authority chooses selectively. Some behavior is beneath response. Some requires correction. Knowing the difference is critical. Control means choosing when to respond, not reacting to everything. If disrespect is not corrected early, it grows. Small allowances turn into patterns. Patterns turn into roles. Once a role forms, breaking it becomes harder. This is why early, calm correction is essential. Not aggressive confrontation, not explanation. A simple, controlled response resets the dynamic before it solidifies. The most effective response to disrespect is brief, neutral, and direct. No sarcasm, no emotion, no justification. A short statement followed by silence creates imbalance. The other person is forced to process the correction internally. This removes their momentum and shifts the pressure back onto them. Calm clarity is far more intimidating than anger. When you explain why something bothered you, you invite debate. Debate gives the other person power. Disrespect is not solved through reasoning. It is solved through structure. The more you explain, the more you appear uncertain. Calm statements end conversations. Explanations extend them. Public disrespect is designed to test status in front of others. Emotional reactions give the audience a show and the aggressor control. Calm responses embarrass without drama. When you remain composed, observers instinctively side with stability. The disrespectful person loses social ground quietly. Authority wins by contrast. Sometimes the strongest response is silence paired with stillness. Not avoidance, presence. Silence that follows disrespect forces self-awareness. Many people correct themselves when no reaction comes. Silence works when your body language communicates control. Nervous silence invites more pressure. Calm silence ends it. If disrespect continues, words are no longer enough. Boundaries require consequences. Consequences are not threats, they are changes in access. Reduced engagement, less availability, distance. You don't announce consequences, you apply them. Behavior changes when patterns change, not when speeches are given. Anger feels powerful because it releases tension, but it hands control to emotion. The other person controls your state. That's not strength. Calm authority requires discipline. Discipline always feels harder than reaction, but it compounds. Anger resolves moments. Calm resolves patterns. Disrespect from close people feels harder because emotions are involved. That's why it's more dangerous. Familiarity breeds boundary erosion. Calm correction is even more important here. If you allow disrespect from close circles, it spreads everywhere else. Authority is consistent, or it doesn't exist. To handle disrespect calmly, you must detach your self-worth from approval. If being liked matters more than being respected, you will always fold. Disrespect tests expose this dependency. Independence is the foundation of control. Once approval loses power over you, disrespect loses its leverage. Most people would rather tolerate disrespect than risk tension. They choose comfort over structure. That choice defines their position permanently. Respect is not demanded, it is enforced quietly through consistency. Few people are willing to endure the early discomfort required to change dynamics. That's why most remain stuck. Once you handle disrespect correctly, something shifts. People become cautious, tone changes, jokes soften, interruptions stop. You didn't dominate, you didn't threaten, you established structure. From that moment, most interactions become easier. Authority, once established, requires less effort to maintain. Disrespect survives on emotional reactions and inconsistency. Remove those, and it collapses. Calm correction, applied once and maintained consistently, changes how people treat you permanently. You don't need aggression, you need structure. This is cold domination, control without noise, respect without force.